Hello, hello, hello. I'm sitting at this weird angle because I've not got a lot of room. I've not got a lot of room because, you know, but I do have two guitars. This is where boink. This is where we do an A/B comparison of two very similar guitars. One is a Fender Modern Player Starcaster from 2013, and this one is a Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster from 2019. These are still being made. These haven't been made in a long time. This is in, oh god, what's it called? Aged Cherry Burst, I think it might be called. This is in natural. Again, if I've been clever, I've done both the reviews of these, and you may have already seen them, and this is kind of the follow-up. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Again, I don't plan any of this, so we're going to riff on it, and I'm going to talk. And I might have intercut some footage of me playing both the guitars. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here with these basic, these balanced precariously on my lap as I talk and think about them. Right, this is it. This is the thoughts. I always wanted to try the Fender Modern Player because I'd already had the Classic Vibe one in a sunburst, and I sold it. I always regretted it, and I now got one back again via the Alan Harwood collection in natural. I'm not a big fan of the colour, but I thought, well, if I get a bit of money from the sale of the guitars, I'm going to treat myself and get one of these to see what the difference is and see if I like one over the other. That's the logic of it. Again, I would have already done a performance and spec on both of these. This one is made in China. Again, the Modern Player, a lot of the Modern Player range from it would have been 10 years ago, 2013, were made in China. I've already got a Telecaster Deluxe kind. Is it Deluxe or Special? I can't remember. I've done a review of it. I'll put it at the end. That was made in China, so I was impressed with the quality. This one's made in China and is also very good quality, but I've already spoken about that. These ones are made in Indonesia. The first thing you notice when you get these is this one is a heavy boy. It is heavy. It feels beefy. You feel like you're getting it's one of the heaviest guitars, I think. It's a real workout, whereas the Squier feels a bit lighter. That's not detracting from it. This one, if you want a light guitar, this is the better guitar. This one's heavier. And then it comes down to well, I guess it's really the pickups, isn't it? These have Squier branded Fender pickups. These have Fender branded Fender pickups, both humbuckers, both very similar. If you've listened to the demos, you'll know that there's not a lot in it, though the Fender has a certain kind of roundness and certain warmth over the Squier, but that's not detracting from the Squier. There are different pickups, they have a slightly different vibe going to them, but if you want something a bit rounder, that's the one. If you want something that's a good approximation, that's the other one. In terms of spec, they're very similar, very similar. The switches are higher quality. The pots, again, this is always the same with any Fender versus Squier. In terms of the hardware, the pots and the switches are always the letdown on the Squiers. You always feel that they could have spent a bit more on those, but the Fender feels right. You know, it just feels better. In terms of fit and finish, they're very, very similar, though this has the edge because it is a Fender guitar. You know, the Sunburst is absolutely gorgeous. It's got a hint of red in it, and it's just, I just think it's just really, really nice. Better than the Squier Sunburst one I had. Again, there's a review out there for that when I covered that. Which one's best? Which one's best? This one. That shocked you, didn't it? You thought I was going to say this one. No, I like this one. It's heavy and it feels meaty and you know, it does all the things, but it proves the point that Squier are just for the money. This is better. Now these command a pretty decent second-hand price. Now I got a good deal on this, but you can, again, depending on where you look, you can pay up to £1,000 for one of these now, sometimes 1,500 depending on the part of the world in which you live. They're a bit collectible. These are still, you know, relatively cheap to pick up. You can get these for, what is it, 3 times less than these, you know, but you get almost exactly the same guitar. See where I'm going with this? If you buy one of these, you're buying it just for the badge, you're buying it just for the Fender name, you're buying it for the vanity. So yeah, it didn't go how I thought it was going to go. I thought these were going to be a lot better, 100 times better than the Squier ones, but there isn't that much in it, and it was a bit of a shocker that to discover that, you know, the Sunburst one, I should have just kept the Sunburst one. No, I needed to flog it because I needed the money back then, but this was a treat, and I'll probably just keep it because, you know, it's alright, you know, it's alright, it's a nice guitar if you're in the mood for one of these unusual beasties. But if you can't afford one of these, and, you know, you're on a budget, or, you know, whatever reason, don't be afraid to buy the Squier edition. They're good guitars. There hasn't been a Squier guitar that I've owned in recent years that has been a disappointment. They've all been really good value for money and deliver in performance, and this just goes to prove it. So yeah, that'll be the thumbnail maybe, and yeah, so it's yeah, an interesting. I don't very often get the chance to do these kind of videos comparing one kind of guitar to another, you know. But here I was in a unique position. We've got two Starcasters, 10 years between them almost, and yeah, they've done a good job. They've done a good job with this. So yeah, that's the video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's been enlightening. Please I don't know, share it, like it, whatever. Sub to the channel if you must, and we'll do something like this again one day. If not, I'm sure there'll be another guitar video along in a moment. That was a guitar shoot-off between, in the red corner, the Fender Modern Player Starcaster in aged Sunburst, Cherry Sunburst from 2013, against the Squier Classic Vibe Starcaster in Natural from 2019 in the blue corner. And we have a winner. That's the winner. That's the winner. But only by a slight margin, only because it represents really good value. And I think it's very odd these days to get good value for money, but this is good value, and just call it a Fender. It's a Fender. Right, thank you for watching. There'll be another video along in a minute, and if you're really unlucky, it'll be another one of mine. That's it. Ta-ta.